What's up, guys? It's Ratcheting here with Rocket Punch Army. You'll see I'm not in my normal review room. It's way too cold. But what I wanted to show you guys today is one of the first things I reviewed with my new camera a while back, which was the Maser Cannon. The one I reviewed back then was a Type 66. Today I have the Type 70. I wanted to get this because this one was actually featured in Godzilla movie. The other one was with the Gargantuas. But basically, this comes in a much smaller box, and the biggest difference is that the other one, the Type 66, was the weathered version, radio control. This is a standard version, Type 70, non-radio control, but it still has a light effect. This is the back here, shows some nice photography. The front actually has I don't know if this is taken. It doesn't look like it's taken directly from the movie, but it does look like it's been just cut out of a movie. The way it looks, it's got a little bit of a blur, because obviously they were using miniatures back then. And that's really about it, just a bunch of Japanese down here. So this is it, guys, right here. Now, without getting into a full review, because I've already done a review on this, on the radio control version, which you can find on my Chachi Power channel, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and really just let you guys look at this. You'll see it's non-weathered, so there's no airbrushing anywhere. It's just a standard paint job. And it's got the red dome up here. It's got the actual cannon part here, and it's also got the treaded front part here. This, I didn't mention in the beginning, is from Aoshima, and this is actually a gokin. It's from the gokin line. And while this isn't metal here, it does have a block of metal that gives it some weight, which is really the only metal part that's in this, aside from these rods here. So that was pretty surprising, because I mean, it did have a good amount of heft, but when I opened the box, there was something rattling inside, very heavy. And of course I opened it up just to make sure everything was cool, and I found just like a block of die cast. So we're going to take a look at the front here. And this is basically the same one you get with the radio control version, except that the LEDs do not light up. And of course I'm going to change that. There's no way I'm leaving this without LEDs. So anyway, like I said, this is pretty much the same one you get with the radio control version. The treads are not weathered. And this is the only part that really has a good amount of die cast. And it's not up here, it's actually on the bottom. If I can just take this off carefully. This is the static model, really, so you know, little thin plastic parts you want to watch out for. But you'll see down here, this area minus this battery cover is die cast. If you guys decide to get this, it's actually pretty cheap on HLJ right now. If you do decide to get this, you want to be careful with little details. If you guys are used to rough housing with your toys, you'll see these railings here. They're very thin plastic. So are these little valves here. This one was actually bent. I don't know if I did that handling it or if it came like that out of the box, but you'll want to watch out with those. I haven't snapped them, but this one was severely bent. It's still there. And also these lines that come out of the tanks here, and more railings up here. And the one part I keep flicking and thinking I'm going to break is these little Rearview Lenses here. And other delicate parts include this stand here for the cannon, and also the little laser beam pointer there. So you definitely want to be careful. I'm going to show you underneath of the back here. Let's pop the front off again. And you'll see it's pretty simple under here. You see the screws, you'll see the copyright years 1972, 2007, Toho company. It's made in China. You'll see a little switch back here. That switch is for the light up gimmick. And you'll also see that this steers here, which is rather nice. And I'm going to show you the movements of the turrets. Again, you want to be careful. Since this is not the radio control version, you cannot control this on your own. So you have to basically hold the chassis of this. The best place to hold it is really these bars here on the side. You don't want to hold it anywhere in the gray areas in case you pinch the railings in or end up breaking the valves. So good place to hold it's here or by the wheels, something sturdy, and you can actually lift this up and turn it. And it does have a ratcheting system. which is pretty simple. It's just basically a round big gear with one tooth on the outside, just basically providing ratchet. But this does turn around and stops right there. A little bit squeaky. And you get that movement, and you obviously get the up and down movement. And what's cool is this always stays parallel to the ground. Of course, we want to check out that gimmick, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and switch it on for you guys so you can check it out. You'll see it's got the pulsating neck here. And now it looks really bright over here on camera, but with your bare eyes it's not so bright. It actually gives a nice effect. You get the light back here, which is not as bright, like I said, as you see here on the actual recording, but it's got a really bright tip on this point here. The rest is not as bright, and it's not as bright around here. But this at least gives you an idea of what the pulsing effect looks like. I forgot what this retailed for originally. It was probably I think 13,000 yen, which is like about 160 bucks, or even more. I think the radio control one was over 20,000 yen. That was really expensive. But this one I picked up for, I think it was 2,800 yen, which is about like I don't know, 40 bucks roughly. But I love it, guys. The radio control one's put away, so this one I'm going to actually display since it's meant to be a static model, and put it next to my Godzillas. If you guys are wondering what the scale is on this, it's a 1/48 scale. If you want to get a Scale Godzilla, there is one that exists that's 1/48, and it's freaking huge. I mean, you know, try and judge like a little guy standing here behind the railings, or driving here up front, and you get a sense of how small this really is when you compare it to Godzilla. But there is a 1/48 scale Godzilla. I forgot who makes it. It's out there. I'd love to have it, but there's no way I could display it. But to give you a sense of what 1/48 scale is, this doesn't really give you a sense, since this doesn't really exist in real life. But here's a 1/48 scale Valkyrie. So, not that you would know what this would look like in real life, but you get a sense of what it, you know, what size it is, because if you watch Robotech, you know how the little pilots scale up to the actual Valkyrie itself. But yeah, and not to get off the subject, but this Valkyrie is actually pretty awesome. You should check it out, guys. But that's going to bring me to the end of the review. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below as always. And until next time, goodbye.